Yeah, so let's talk about Huygens principles first. So Huygens is basically a early 1800s scientist, late 1700s, early 1800s scientist who spoke about the wave nature of light. According to Huygens, at the source of light, light travels as a wave in all possible directions. That means that if there is a source of light, that source of light can emit light in any possible direction. This is true not just about light, this is also true about radioactive decay. So the radioactive decay is not direction sensitive. It can happen along any direction. So similarly at the source, light can get radiated, or light will be radiated in all possible directions as waves. So it travels as waves. These waves move forward with the speed of the velocity of light, which is approximately 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Now when suppose this is a source of light and there are waves which are traveling like this, I identify points which are at the same phase and then I join them together. So when I identify points which are at the same phase and join them together, I will get a boundary. That boundary is called a wave front. So as the wave propagates front, the wave front also propagates ahead. So this is what is the second point in Huygens principles, that is points which are at the same phase propagate ahead in the form of a wave front. These wave fronts are actually perpendicular to the waves. Suppose the ray is going this way, the wave front is always perpendicular to it. Okay. Then the third point is that each point on a wave front acts as a secondary source of waves which again propagate in all possible directions. That is, if this is a wavefront, this point at the wavefront is a source of secondary waves which again travel in all possible directions. The only negative of Huygens principle is he asked us to ignore those waves which are traveling in the backward direction. So suppose this is a wavefront, this is a source of waves, and the wavefront is moving in this direction, then secondary waves will move in all possible directions from every point on the wavefront. Just that he asked us to ignore those waves which are going back. So we don't want to get into a discussion that how much of energy is going back and how much of energy is moving front. We will assume that all the energy is moving front, and that is what we need to worry about. Okay, so these 3 points will constitute what is called as Huygens principle. The first point is light is emitted as a wave in all possible directions. The second point is that points on these waves which are at the same phase when joined together form a wave front, and these wavefronts propagate in the direction of propagation of the wave. The third point is that each point on these wavefronts is a source of secondary waves called wavelets. Okay, so this is what constitutes Huygens principle. The one limitation on Huygens principle is, for some reason he asked us to ignore those waves which are moving back, those secondary waves which are moving back. Okay, so this is what is Huygens principle. A few small applications of this. We need to understand what is wavefront and how wavefronts work. Now suppose there is a point source. The point source means my wavefronts will look like spheres, concentric spheres. If I have a line source, my wavefront will look like concentric cylinders. Concentric cylinders. If I have a planar source, my wavefronts will also be planar, parallel planes. Then if my source is very far away, as the radius keeps increasing, it becomes more and more straight, so it becomes a plane wavefront. So if you have a source at a very far distance, the wavefront is a plane wavefront, planar wavefront. Okay, so we need to understand how to draw these wavefronts. Also, suppose there is a plane wavefront and then there is a mirror here. So what will happen? This wavefront comes this way, moves, it hits the mirror, and then it travels back. So the reflected wavefronts are parallel to the incident wavefronts. The reflected wavefronts are parallel to the incident wavefronts. Suppose instead of a plane mirror, we had a curved mirror like this. So if you have a curved mirror like this, and if you have a plane wavefront, the wavefront goes, it hits, the wavefront goes and it hits. Then after this, now understand that this will go back in this direction while this part continues to move in this direction. So my wavefronts will look like curved circles. Okay, they won't be on this side, they'll be on this side. So they will be parallel to the curved surface and then they will be moving away. Similarly, if you have a convex surface and if you have a plane wavefront, after reflection, the wavefronts will look like concentric parallel surfaces which are similar to that of the curved surface. Okay. Then suppose there is a prism. Suppose there is a triangular prism like this and you have a plane wavefront. Understand that this wavefront has reached here. Now this gets into a new medium while this continues in the same medium. And if this is glass, the velocity here is lesser than the velocity here. So this travels a greater distance while this end travels a smaller distance. So the transmitted wavefronts will look like this. Now if I want to know how this wavefront here will look, understand that this will travel a smaller distance, this will travel a greater distance, again this way, again this way, and ultimately it will reach here. Now this is how the wave travels. Similarly, if I have a lens like this and if I have a plane wavefront like this, now once this reaches here, now this gets into the glass while this travels in air, so it will travel faster. So when it comes out, the emerging wavefronts will look like this. So for different scenarios, we should be able to draw the wavefronts. Okay, keeping in mind some of these concepts that we just now discussed. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this.